it's been about 4.5 years since Hysteria came out, I think. Since then, we have done extensive touring. We did the Hysteria tour actually took in approximately 230, I think 227 shows altogether we did throughout North America, Canada, all of Europe, and Japan. We didn't actually get to Australia on the last tour. The album went to #1 about 6 weeks after the tour finished. And consequently, I think it's probably going to be one of the first places we go on the next tour. But yeah, we did that. We spent a couple of weeks doing a live format video concert thing called In the Round in Your Face, which came out in '89. And basically from '89, middle of '89 up until now, we spent making the new album on and off. A lot of things happened. We went in the studio initially at the beginning of 1989 in Holland. In the studio we did a lot of the work on the previous album. And we kind of got this deja vu thing going where it's like, it's just too soon to be back here, so we couldn't deal with working in that studio. So we moved to one in Amsterdam. We stayed there for 4 months and got bits and bobs done, and then we sort of realised that having been on the road for so long and all the rehearsals that went off before that tour and doing those straight after we finished the album, we hadn't really had a break for, like, it seemed years and years. And we realised we'd gone back in too soon, so we took the whole summer of '89 off. And we went back in the studio about August and started writing more songs. And then we'd record them and we'd scrap them and we'd change bits and put ourselves under a lot of pressure to follow Hysteria, you know. We were never actually put under pressure by anybody else, the record company, the critics or whoever. We never felt any pressure to follow it up other than our own, just will to want to keep going upwards rather than just repeating our previous success, you know. So throughout 1989, 1990 and 1991, we were in and out of the studio, writing, rewriting, coming up with new stuff, going back and redoing it. It was almost like a mirror image of what happened to us on the previous album. But having had the last album as a bit of a guideline, we didn't mind so much because we knew that it worked last time, so if we'd went through the same process, there's no reason why we couldn't get the same results. You know? And in between all that lot happening, we unfortunately had to deal with the deterioration of a relationship and the health of our guitarist Steve Clark, who at the end of it all died. And there was nothing anybody could do about it, which was very traumatic for us and made it very difficult for us to actually make the record anyway. Without using it as an excuse, which we're far from doing, it was very difficult to actually motivate ourselves to work when one guy was falling away and basically dying in front of your eyes, and there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. It sounds pathetic, but you've got to want to do it yourself, and with all the love and care and encouragement that 4 guys can do, it just wasn't enough, you know. And it was a very difficult thing. But once we got over the, I guess you'd call it the mourning period, round about middle of March 1991, we just all sort of looked at each other one day and said, this has got to stop, you know, we got to go for it. And we literally, nearly everything you hear on the record has been recorded since March 1991, and we finished it before Christmas. So it actually took no longer to record than the Pyromania album, which in itself was a bit of a nightmare, but compared to the last album, was pretty quick, you know. But, you know, it was, it's just a process that we seem to go through for some reason. I don't know. I don't particularly enjoy it. I'd love to make a 6-week record, but I've just got a feeling it wouldn't sound as good.